Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. So yeah, this is my allotment garden. I know I said that I was going to try and do a video at the end of each month, and it's like the second week of March, so clearly I haven't managed to do that, but it's still looking lovely, and I've been able to get a couple of things done, so why don't you come and have a look with me. Let's go. So I've not done much here at the top of the beds. These three pallet collars I have sort of made a plan for, but mostly I just need to put some more compost in them. But this is what it's looking like at the minute. This little bed on the right of the screen has got raspberries in it, but I do really need to put some edging on it because the compost keeps falling into the path, and I don't really want to fall out with my next door allotment neighbour, so I'm going to try and sort that out probably in the next week or so, but we'll see how it goes. These two beds of kales are doing really well. I've managed to clear them of all the weeds, and I've had quite a few harvests of purple sprout and broccoli. It's only been small, but it's still been pretty good, so I'm really happy with that. I'm just gonna try and keep this kale going for maybe another month, so well throughout March, and then I'll probably clear it, I think, in time for April, because by then I think I'm going to need the space back to put some other things in. I might just try intercropping between them. I'm just going to have to see how that goes. Cleared these two beds as well. The kales are doing fine. I actually have some spring onions in one of them that I hadn't realised, so they're just starting to grow again now, which is great. The perpetual spinach and rocket at the end is doing really well too. It's just it's sort of, yeah, I'm just sort of leaving it there for now. I will, yeah, keep harvesting from it for a bit longer and then move it. So the big thing I've done over the last couple of weeks has been starting to cover these other beds, and I've been covering them with cardboard and then putting compost on top. I haven't done these next two here, but I've done the ones down here too, so it's taking me a little bit of time to do that. Where I've had time, I have pulled the grasses out because I've just got couch grass absolutely everywhere, so I've done my best to pull out some of the roots and then put cardboard over the top, and then I've topped it up with more compost. But I think this is probably going to be one of those things that just keeps on happening. I'm just going to have to keep clearing it probably each year. I think next year, the one thing I have learned is that I'm actually going to cover the beds over the winter so that I don't end up with just loads of couch grass coming up, so that I can actually smother it. So I'm definitely going to cover them next year and hope that some of it dies. I am really enjoying this path full of flowers. Yeah, it's just really lovely actually. It's a really nice sort of start to spring, and yeah, it's really pretty. The only downside is some of them are in fact slightly in a bed, but I've just decided not to worry about it, and you know, I'll plant around them, and probably just take them up once they finish flowering and move them into the path itself, because yeah, it's just a really pretty start to spring. One thing I have done that I'm actually really happy about is where I had three small beds before, I've now got one long bed and a small bed still. I just decided that would be a bit easier in terms of netting, and I'm going to use this long bed at the nearest to you, I think probably for my brassicas, and the other one I'm going to use for salads, because both of those things I need to protect from the pigeons, so it would just be good to have a longer stretch and a bit more space to be able to put some of those things in, and then yeah, we'll see how that goes. Hopefully it will mean that it's a bit easier to walk around through the middle of the beds rather than always having to go around the outside, but to be honest, it's not really taking any time or anything. I just think it looks a bit nicer actually, so yeah, we'll see how that goes, but hopefully that'll work out okay. So I haven't yet done anything over here. There are strawberries here, although you'd be forgiven for not being able to see them at the minute, so that I still need to clear, and I've got a situation where the path has sort of eroded into the bed here, so I really need to bring over yeah, just some tools, clear the edge out, get all the bits of grass out of here. Thankfully, most of this grass actually isn't couch grass, which is not, well, some of it is, but not all of it. So that should be a little bit easier to clear. And then hopefully my strawberries will warm themselves back up and start fruiting again this year. I haven't really done anything with this bed. It has 2 very lovely rhubarb at the back, which are growing really nicely. I'm really pleased about that actually, because I did move them. One was sort of like underneath a big load of brambles and rubbish, and the other one I brought from an old plot. I wasn't really sure how well they transplant, but they're both doing really well actually, so I'm really, really happy about that. I'm probably not going to harvest from either of them this year. I'm just gonna let them grow, let them put their nutrients back into the, back into the root system, and then I'll probably harvest from them next year instead, because I've only just moved them and I don't want them to get I want to make sure that they grow well. So yeah, this really just needs a hoe, doesn't it? But I am probably going to cover it up and warm it up. I have no idea what I'm going to plant in here at the beginning of the season, but I am sure I will think of something. Gooseberries in the pots are all doing well, and I think I'm probably going to mulch them, maybe with some hay or something on top. I have these raspberries as well, 2 rows of raspberries. I didn't plant them, they were here when I took the plot on. They were just hidden beneath like several feet of grasses and rubbish before. They seem to be coming back, so they seem okay. I don't know, I mean, I don't even know what variety they are, but I'm hoping that they are at least tasty. That's really the main point, isn't it? As long as they're tasty, it doesn't really matter. I'm not really going to do anything with them, but I am going to try and keep this part of the ground a bit, well, clearer, and try and keep on top of all the weeding, so while I figure out what to do. So I think I might put some wood chip down over here, because I think that would be easier. So that is the allotment, in the second week of March. I'm actually really happy with what I've managed to get done so far, although it has been slower than I wanted it to be. I think I always start the year with like trying to get everything done, because I think I always feel like everybody else is getting loads of things done. I'm not sure that they actually are. I think some of that is probably just me. But what has been good is particularly sorting out the beds so that I've got some bigger spaces to plant salads and my brassicas, because really those are the things that we eat loads of, so that's what I wanted to focus on this year. I have sort of started doing a plan. It's not really finished yet, so I do need to figure out what I'm putting in all the different spaces. Sorry, it's really windy today as well. Anyway, yeah, and the one thing I have managed to do that I'm really happy about is the water. So I have fixed the guttering on the shed, I've got the water barrels up and running, and it's been both rainy and snowy here, so they are happily filling up, and I'm really, really pleased about that too. The other thing I'm really pleased about is that I've got permission to put 2 trees in. So I'm going to get an apple tree and a plum tree, and I'm going to put them at the bottom where that covered bit of ground is. I will cover most of it back up because I am trying to kill the mare's tail off, or at least marginally weaken it so that I can, plant stuff there. But anyway, thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you next time. Take care. Bye.